Reeker, oh, it's one of those.
A movie that's, you know, truly scary. And
Reeker is a really fun, cool, hip horror movie with a very intelligent twist.
And action. When I first thought of doing a horror film, I had sort of a tone or a sort of palette I wanted to work from, and that was making a movie that was definitely scary and making a movie that was fun. I also knew that I wanted to explore smell, and I thought it would be challenging to find out, to see if I could explore smell in a way that wasn't corny or wasn't cheesy, or a way that didn't include fart jokes.
Five kids on their way out to a big party in the desert.
To get laid, really?
So what's with the name?
The guys at the house started calling me Trip because they said I was one.
What about Cookie? Where does that come from?
My parents let me choose my name when I was 3.
If my parents let me choose at that age, I'd be Fire Truck. I'd be Pee-Pee.
Figures.
I really wanted to start with someplace familiar, and I wanted to definitely riff off of the things that work in this genre, and that was, I felt it was really important to have a bunch of kids who get stranded out in the middle of nowhere and have to sort of turn to each other and learn about each other and to kind of defend themselves.
They get sort of stranded in this strange roadside establishment where there's just absolutely nothing going on.
Hello?
Anybody home? Where did everybody go?
You've got the kids trapped in the desert. It's all foreboding. There's weird things happening. They're getting knocked off one by one. And just kind of take it to the next level. There's this whole mystery that needs to be solved.
Nothing is as it seems, and I think that David is really good at capturing that.
You know, it just starts to get weirder and weirder as the night goes on.
Okay. That was weird.
Listen, why don't you just pull your RV right up here, okay?
Gretchen is a grad student, and she's quite responsible, and she doesn't suffer fools lightly. She's totally at odds with Trip. Phone's still engaged.
I like to keep an eye on both of you.
What happened out there?
I don't know. I may have messed up and made somebody very mad, or I may just be losing my mind.
You're too much. I'm getting tired.
All right, I'll be down in a minute. Hey, are you a good yeller?
The best.
Jack is a pretty dry, witty sort of gentleman. He happens to be blind, but is not fazed by it and has learned to deal with it.
Have you ever had sex on the top of an RV while some tweaked out monster was trying to kill you?
No. Have you?
Yeah, once, but I was young. Wasn't very good. Nelson, well, I know he has an MP3 player. And, what else? He's, I guess he's like a disco retro guy. Let's get out of here, man. We're not gonna find any gas.
Are you afraid of the dark?
No, I'm afraid of psycho desert trash crackheads who hunt small animals with Dahmer's garden tools.
I play Cookie. She's kind of the free child, the loved one, you know, everything is happy, and she's just out to have a good time. The water doesn't work.
The bed does. Where else can you get this kind of entertainment for a quarter?
You're funny for a blind guy.
Thanks.
Trip is a guy who likes to go out and have fun as much as he can, doesn't really think about consequences in life. He just goes out to do something and doesn't really realize what the... He goes for the cause and doesn't understand what the effect is.
Oh, this is it? No goodbyes?
You can thank me I took you this far.
Don't do this. I vote, we vote.
Now, I'm playing a character named Henry Stuckey, who's running around in his Winnebago in the middle of the night in the desert, confused, has memories, lapses, and all I know is I'm looking for my wife, who I miss dearly. Rose Stuckey.
I'm afraid who's ever doing this? They've got my Rose.
Wait, why don't you give us some gas so we can all get out of here?
No, I need every drop I've got to look for my wife. Now, you're more than welcome to come look with me in the morning.
I play a character named Radford, who is ostensibly a failed doctor who manufactures ecstasy, selling it to the local college kids.
How do I know these are for real?
Good enough for me.
You can only be so mechanical about the scares. You could have the loudest, craziest, sharpest sting. You could have written the best setup, but that scare's not going to work if the actor's not believable. And we're very, very lucky that these actors just fleshed out these characters and made them people who you don't want to see die.
Hello. You know, that's what I like about this movie. Is like everything's creepy.
There's just a moment where my character thinks that he has you know, a landmark out and he's outside in the, kind of in the middle of nowhere, but he thinks that he has some breadcrumbs, you know, as it were, his version, and it turns out that they're not. There's nothing. There's no link to where you know, to get him back to where he knows where he would be. To be out in the middle of nowhere is scary enough, even when you can see, you know. So that's pretty creepy.
You know, in films when a character reappears and you don't know why, similarly with my character, you don't know why he keeps reappearing, and that was very creepy to me. The places that he reappears, standing over their bed when they're fooling around, catching glimpses when people are, you know, trying to put together a sense of this world that they're in, and being stalked by a horrible killer.
The scariest scene is Cookie in the outhouse.
The treacherous outhouse scene.
I don't think there's going to be a woman who's seen this movie who will sit on a toilet again without looking in the bowl first.
You know, she's trying to figure out what's going on, and all these unnatural things are happening, and before she can even make sense of them, BAM!
It's just the definitive scary scene. It's like the psycho shower scene, which is great because now we can't shower and we can't pee.
It's fun because you have your blood and guts and gore, but at the end you realize there's a lot more to it.
A lot of horror films have people die just for the thrill of the kill, and in Reeker I wanted to make sure that there was meaning to the deaths. There was much more going on than just a bad guy killing someone.
And the script, by the way, when I read the script, I remember getting about 2/3 through the script and thinking to myself, this is too well written to be on just 2 levels. There's got to be a 3rd level to it somewhere. It's a very well written script.
I think an audience is going to find infectious, not like frustrating, like constantly being faked out by some annoying horror films, but like in a very smart, considered way, where the last instant of the film will occur and everything before it will kind of make sense if you go back and add it up in your brain.
It's more interesting than a regular blood and guts story, so you should watch it and find out.